Welcome back to the channel, gang. Thanks for tuning in. What in the world am I doing making a video about a lunchbox? That's a good question, and I didn't think I was going to be making a video about this. However, after the last 2 months of me using these things almost every single day at my real job, I can come to you confidently and say they are absolutely fantastic. So what are these? These essentially are a portable, rechargeable little mini oven for your food. Sounds simple, sounds like it's kind of boring, and I get it. However, I have the privilege of working with around 10 to 12,000 people at my real day job, and I do not like using all of the appliances that everyone else uses. I don't like sticking my food into a microwave that someone's heated up their tuna or their cod in 30 minutes before. I don't know, I think it's gross. So I agreed to take these in and to use them and provide some type of feedback to you guys on how these things work. And after, again, 2 months, they're awesome. I don't know how else to put it. This is the LunchEAZE XL. This is the LunchEAZE Pro. Two different sizes. Not much difference in height. However, when you open up this and take out the stainless steel container, this is a 1400 milliliter stainless steel container, and the LunchEAZE Pro, which is what I use the most, is 940 milliliters. So this is actually a perfect size for me to take to work every day, and it seems to be just the right size to put my leftovers from the night before, or it even holds like a lean cuisine. And yes, this thing will actually cook a frozen dinner if you stick it in here. It's fantastic. I don't really use the XL that much because honestly, it's just too big, and I don't need that much lunch. If I ate this much lunch, I would probably want to go to bed. But there are actually 3 models to this. There's like a LunchEAZE, the basic standard LunchEAZE model, and then these two are the little bit upgraded models. I don't have the very basic model, but I think these two are what you should probably look at if you're going to be into the market for a rechargeable lunchbox. I never knew that I was until I got these. The smaller one has an 8,000 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, and the bigger LunchEAZE XL has a 14,000 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. You charge them up in the back via a barrel connector, you can see right here. So these do come with cooler bags also, and I will say, so this is the cooler bag for the smaller one. I've got the bigger cooler bag back behind me. I don't use these cooler bags. They're kind of neat if you're not concerned about space, because they are two pieces or 2 parts. So you got the top part, which you can store cold goods in, and then you've got the bottom part where you're actually going to put in the lunchbox. But for me, I carry a big backpack to work too. And then this is just a little bit too big to carry 2 bags. So what I did, I actually went out and bought on Amazon, bought just this small soft-sided cooler, and it fits the LunchEAZE Pro. Perfect. Stick it in there, and this is just a little bit easier to carry around than this bigger soft-sided cooler, but I don't carry any other cold stuff, so that's probably why this works for me, and it might not work for you. But it does come with an AC charger to a barrel connection that you're going to plug into the back. The only bad thing about this whole system is that they don't send you a 12-volt charger, so you have to rely on an AC device to charge up the lithium-ion battery in this. You know, I envision a lot of truckers using this thing, potentially. Short-haul truckers, you know, hotshot drivers, things like that. And a lot of trucks don't have AC outlets. So the best way to get around that is I also bought this on Amazon, which is a Bestek 150-watt AC inverter, and you just plug it into your 12-volt socket in your vehicle, and then you've got AC power. Of course, this is not pure sine. Don't run a laptop or anything off of this, but it's just enough power to plug in this AC adapter, plug this into your socket, and then now your car, if you don't have an AC adapter in your car, can charge up this if you don't have a way to, you know, get AC power in your vehicle. So I think that's the only downside of this whole system is they don't provide a 12-volt charging, only AC. So the way that this thing works for me and how I use it almost every single day at work, and I'll bring you in closer to show you the screen, but we cook dinner at night, leftovers, I throw in this, I stick it in the fridge, then the next morning I take it out, I put it in here, and I close it down, and I stick it in my cooler bag, and I take it to work. You have to charge these things up every single day. The battery in here is good for 1 heating session, or to reheat your food 1 time. You're not gonna get 2 reheats, so that's why I think it's important that you have some type of 12-volt charging if you're on the road and need to charge this thing up and don't have access to an AC outlet. But Just keep in mind you only get one charge with that built-in lithium-ion battery. So I'll come home from work, I'll take this out, I'll clean it, I'll plug it up to my wall outlet next to my fridge. It'll charge up overnight. In the morning, it's charged up and ready to go. When I get to work, I turn this thing on, and that's all I do. I have it set to start heating my food so it's ready to go by my set time that I eat lunch, which is around 11:30. So around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, I can see this thing start to slowly heat up to my desired heat setting, which is around 205 degrees. You can set these between 170 and 220 degrees, and I'll tell you, 220 degrees is almost too hot. When it comes time for me to eat, I want to eat. I don't want to wait to cool it down, but 205 degrees really keeps my food right at that right level where it's warm, almost hot, but I can still eat it and go about doing my own stuff. Inside here, you'll see the hot plate. That's actually what gets hot, and it gets hot. Just let me tell you, again, that 220 degrees is a little bit too much. These are dishwasher safe. I throw it in the dishwasher. You can maybe see some scratches and stuff just from silverware that I use, but these have been very, very rugged, no issues at all. In fact, the gasket that's around this lid, no issues, no spills, no leaks, nothing. So and you can buy these containers separately, and they're actually good containers even if you don't have this thing. I honestly think so, but there's that. So that's how I use it. Now, let me pull you in a little closer and I'll show you how I set it up and how you can, configure some of these settings on it. All right, so to turn this thing on, press the power button, and you can see I've got my typical 11:30 a.m. start time, and up here in yellow it says mealtime too soon for auto heat, use manual heat instead. So you can always, you don't have to set a mealtime, you can hit this heating button right here and it'll start heating automatically, but typically when I get to work at around 7:30 in the morning, I just press this power button to turn the unit on, and then it'll start automatically heating so I get my desired 210 degrees by 11:30 a.m. But right now, since it is current time 11:04 a.m., obviously I don't have time to heat this thing up to get my food ready by 11:30, so I will just start auto heating. So let's change this and say if I wanted to eat at 3:30 p.m., I'll hit OK, and it says food will be ready in 3 hours and 25 minutes. Do not power off. So it's going to start to slowly heat up so I can have my food ready by 2:30 p.m. I have it set for 210 degrees. We can change that to 200 and all the way down to 170 degrees if you want, or all the way up to 220 degrees, which I don't recommend really, unless you just like piping hot food. And then of course you can go down to your manual heating. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, set it for 203 degrees Fahrenheit. Different settings, you can change, Fahrenheit to Celsius. The theme is just the colors for the screen, so you can change it to whatever you like. Right now it's on custom, but we can go to serpent, badger, raven, lion, whatever that is. I actually like that. That's kind of like red, white, and blue. I think I'll keep it on liberty for right now. Auto off, that means that once this gets the food to temperature, it's going to completely shut down the unit. I have that disabled right now. So that's it. That's the screen, if that's coming through. And it just, so now we have a little bit closer up view. Again, that's the heating pad. Throw that in there and then latch these things down and you are good to go. So here's some specs down here if you can at all interested in that. It is an 8,000 milliamp hour battery, yada, 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 some warning signs, nothing that important. So right now, again, so I've got the green light that's on, which means it's gonna start heating whatever is in here. So that's the basic operation of this thing. All right, so there are a few cons. One, they're pricey. I'm not gonna say they're cheap. They range anywhere from $199 to the basic model, which is, I think, around $130, $135. Don't quote me on that, but I'll put the links in the description if you wanna check it out. But the different sizes run a different price. If you don't wanna spend this much money, and what I was using before LunchEAZE contacted me actually was just a very cheap version of basically the same thing, except this is not rechargeable and you have to have a 12 volt or an AC source to plug it in. But this is just another kind of electric little heating lunchbox. So this is what I was using, but I do think that it just doesn't feel quite as sturdy and quite as good. And I think this was like 40 bucks on Amazon, I think, when I bought it. If I can get it latched now. But this is what I used for months before these things came into my life, but it's an option. So what I want to show you guys is I'm gonna cut this system on I'm gonna get this thing taken off. And just to show you how hot this thing gets it, I'm gonna put about 2 cups of water in this, which magically we happen to have right here. Actually, there's 4 cups in here. I'm not gonna put all of it. All right, 2 cups of water. And right now, just so we're all being honest here, put this thermometer in here and we're sitting at 72 degrees. That's gonna show up for water temperature. So let me get this thing placed in here. Close the lid. And another tip, if you do get one of these and you have like rice or vegetables or chicken like what we have a lot of, and you start to heat it up, sprinkle a little bit of water on that rice or the vegetables or whatever food you have. Water, because the vapor in that water when it starts to heat up really helps cook it more evenly and it keeps it from sticking on the bottom. So I found that if I put a little bit of water in here before it starts to actually heat up when I get to work in the morning, it works a lot better. So I'm gonna get this cut on and I'm gonna set my time. It is 11:10, 12:10, 1:10. I'm gonna set my meal time to 2 hours from now. So I'm gonna sit here and let this thing do its thing and I'll come back in around 2.5 hours. Actually, how long is it gonna take? 2 hours and 20 minutes based off of the meal time that I set it. And we'll check the temperature of this water inside, but I can assure you guys, based off of me using these things for 2 months, that it heats up the food better than I ever thought that something like this could. And that's why I actually had to lower the temperature setting, because the first time I used it at 220 degrees, it was too hot. But just to show you folks that this does actually heat up, let's come back in a few hours, check the temperature of that water, and then we'll go from there. So this has been going for 123 minutes. It's showing what the actual hot plate temperature is. So let's just get a quick reading of this water here. I mean, you can see the condensation that's caused up here, but I can tell you it's definitely warm enough for any type of food. 153, 154 degrees for 2 cups of room temperature water. That's soup right there. That's hot soup. You could definitely eat that. Well, there you go, folks. I don't know how intriguing this video was for you, but I like showing or showcasing products that I typically wouldn't think about doing a video on, because again, I've used this for the last 2 months and it's worked out great. Hot food, literally anywhere you're at, as long as you have a charge in the battery. It makes it really versatile compared to the little cheaper model that you have to plug in to heat up. So I like that it just heats up wherever you're at. If you're a trucker, hotshot driver, wherever, I don't know, wherever you want a hot meal. It just works really well. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Keeps my food hot when I want to eat. So there you go. The LunchEAZE Pro, the XL that's back there, and then they have the LunchEAZE Core, I believe is what they call. 3 different models, and they just work. So anyway, gang, thanks for watching. We will see you soon. Take care.